It's a top of the table clash here at Virgin Media Park, Cork. It's the Wolfhounds versus Gwalia Lightning in the first round of a Celtic Challenge doubleheader here in the Rebel County. Gwalia's only defeat in the competition came back in round 3 against the Clovers. Since then, they've won 3 games on the trot, keeping them in the hunt for the title. For Neil Alcorn's Wolfhounds, bar that loss in round 2, they've been putting teams to the sword. Irish out-half Dan O'Brien has been in top form in this competition. The Clovers wait in the wings with a game in hand. They face Glasgow Warriors later on this afternoon. But first, will the Wolfhounds maintain their position at top of the table, or will Gwalia Lightning get a huge victory on Irish soil? Emer, it's round 7 of the Celtic Challenge doubleheader here today in Virgin Media Park. Exciting times. Gwalia Lightning against the Wolfhounds up first.
Yeah, absolutely, hugely exciting. Let alone having 2 games of the Celtic Challenge here, but I guess game 1 being a top of the table clash between Gwalia and the Wolfhounds. Both teams having 1 loss, and the rest of their games being triumphant. So it's going to be hugely exciting, and both are definitely going to bring their edge today. And
they both lost to the Clovers, so they have that similarity as well. Gwalia Lightning 3 on the bounce now. Wolfhounds haven't lost since round 2 as well. So 2 teams in form.
Yeah, absolutely. We are aware, obviously, that the Clovers do have a game in hand, but I think both these teams will be looking to solidify themselves at top of the table. They've both hugely grown since those losses. We've seen them get quite comprehensive wins and really showcase their flair and ability to score tries across the park. I think it's going to be a really cracker of a game today. And we were talking off air about Gwalia and their kind of 1 to 8, like their forward effort so far this season. You've been really impressed by that. Yeah, hugely. I think, Gwalia, what's impressed me the most is their ability to score across the park. We saw their game against Edinburgh. They really went from one wing to another. They've huge pace on the wings as well, which their handling has allowed them to execute hands out to the wings and score those tries. But that's all set up by the platform that their forwards and their packs have given them. We heard from Cash, their coach this morning, that being dominant in the collision area is something they want to focus on. So I imagine we're going to see some really big hits today, and we're just going to see a real edge and desire to score tries. And
on that, the Wolfhounds have some real flyers of their own. Aoife Dalton, Ella Roberts, Vicky Elms Kinlan, an Olympian in the summer. They could do some really exciting stuff as well.
Definitely, yeah. There definitely is a bit of a shake-up in the back line at the moment, but the Wolfhounds have shown across the games in the Celtic Challenge this year that they have the ability to score anyone in their back line. So I'm imagining that they'll look to their set piece to set them up, and that we'll see a lot of those back runners running some great lines and hopefully getting over the whitewash as well.
And we caught up with both managers earlier on. Here's what they had to say. Another big day here today. You're playing Gwalia Lightning, top of the table clash. What are you expecting from them?
Oh yeah, massive. We're looking forward to today. Today's going to be, I think it's going to be quite really competitive throughout. I think a breakdown is going to be really important for us, and we know they're going to target that area, so we're just going to be really disciplined today.
They are a very good team up front. They've got a lot of threats. The likes of Macy Davis, the likes of Gwyneth Hopkins. Is that something you've assessed during the week? Yeah, look, we've looked at the threats, and we'll try to look at some areas that we can maybe try and exploit as well. The big thing for us is we stick to our game plan, and we hope that we get some reward from that, and we just need to make sure that we keep the ball. In the back line, you've got some serious options. Ella Roberts shifts to fullback. Aoife Dalton's back in the centre. Dana O'Brien's been on fire this competition. So if you get the ball out wide, you could be dangerous. You kind of got a game plan a wee bit there yourself. No, for us, we just got to make sure, ball retention is really key, and we've got a number of players that are very exciting, and hopefully give them a bit of time and space to kind of get after it. And the way things are looking, if you guys could get the win today, the Clovers are hot in your heels as well with a game in hand. It could come down to points difference at the end of the day. We just focus on each game. We just go after the win. We do performance first for us, and then get the performance right, and hopefully get the win at the end of the day. Best of luck today. Thank you very much. Kat, your second trip to Ireland this competition, how are you feeling?
We're feeling great. It's a really nice, dry, crisp day. We're looking forward to playing some exciting rugby, and we're really looking forward to the challenge the Wolfhounds present us today.
And since that round 3 defeat against the Clovers, your side haven't put a foot wrong. You've been doing really well. Really pleasing for you as a coach?
Yeah, most certainly. I think we learned a lot about ourselves as a team against the Clovers. We've certainly looked at where we play the game and how we manage it, and I think we're really trying to sort of finding our flow and our identity as a team.
Up front, you guys have looked really good this season. Macy Davis, Ala Pers and Gwyneth Hopkins all standing out. Those young players that have bright futures ahead of them in Welsh rugby, you must be really impressed with them.
Yeah, most certainly one of our biggest areas to go after is collision dominance, and it's fantastic that those girls are more seeing the fruits of that. And when we look at the top 4 teams on the international stage, collision dominance in our forwards is something that we really want to improve on within Wales, and I think that we certainly have some young players who are paving the way in that area.
And have you seen much of the Wolfhounds, and have you looked at any particular aspect of the game that you're going to target this week?
I think the biggest thing this week is we remain true to ourselves and the focus remains on us. The Wolfhounds are certainly a well-oiled machine. They're top of the table. They have the ability to score from anywhere. They're certainly threatening, and we're very aware of that. And it's been a lot of our prep this week has been about us and staying true to ourselves and our values and making sure we stay on that physical front and we stay in that battle.
Best of luck today.
Thank you.
And welcome here to Virgin Media Park for round 7 of the Celtic Challenge competition, and it's a double header today. And first up, it's the Wolfhounds against Gwalia Lightning. 2 teams top of the table, and it should be a great clash. And I'm delighted to be joined in comms today by Irish international Emer Carey. How are you?
Good, thanks, Kieran. Good to be here.
And looking at the fixtures, of course, Clovers are playing at 3:30 against Glasgow Warriors, an Irish-Scottish affair, very similar to the senior men who are playing Scotland later on at 3 o'clock in the Six Nations. And Britain Thunder with their first victory of the campaign yesterday against Edinburgh. So now let's look at the table. The Wolfhounds come into this game top of the table, 1 point clear of Gwalia Lightning. The Clovers sit back in third, 5 points off the Wolfhounds, but it's important to mention that they do have that game in hand. And Britain Thunder's win yesterday puts them into 5th place. And now let's go through the teams. The Wolfhounds have plenty of experience and international experience in the front row. Irish prop Nevo Dowd is partnered by Christy Haney, while in the second row Ulster's Fiona Chute starts, while Brittany Hogan makes her first start at number 8 of the competition. The Leinster halfback pairing resumes with Whelan and O'Brien, with Aoife Dalton back at the centre, while there's a Wicklow flavour to the back 3 with Vicky Elms-Kinnan and Ella Roberts. Vicky on the wing and Ella shifting to full back. Now let's go through the Gwalia team. And Gwalia have plenty of talented youngsters in their ranks. Maisie Davis has been one of the best players to watch in this competition, while Ala Pers in the second row is another one for the future in the Welsh jersey. Gwyneth Hopkins is a real leader at number 8, while in the halfbacks, Caris Hughes has been great with the number 10 jersey this season. And on the wing, Courtney Greenway is a real flyer, and she could cause the Wolfhounds some problems if she gets ball in hand. It's a nice day here, but it is bitterly cold. And Emer, who are you looking forward to seeing today in action?
Yeah, there's definitely a good few players, particularly interested in the Gwalia Lightning wingers. I thought Caitlin Lewis had a great try against Edinburgh in their victory in the last round. You know, she must have ran about 50 metres to score her try. So yeah, definitely excited to see her on the wing. And I think the Wolfhounds will definitely have to be careful not to give her too much space, because she definitely has the pace to go all the way there.
And the Wolfhounds have made quite a few changes, to be fair. Erin King, since she swapped over to the 15, she's been unreal to watch, hasn't she?
She has. You know, the pace and the power that she brings to the back row is exceptional. I think from a scrum, the Wolfhounds are aware of that and have tried to utilise her power and pace. Her fend, you know, has been something that a lot of defenders have been on the end of as well. she's managed to bag herself a nice brace of tries as well. So I think, she's definitely just adapted to the game so well. Hasn't played a huge amount of 15s, but that doesn't show out on the pitch at all. So definitely one who's putting her hand up for selection and is a crucial kind of link between her forward pack and the backs in this Wolfhounds team.
And you did your homework before this game. You were talking about Gwalia Lightning and how good they are up front, especially in that front five.
Yeah, I think what impressed me the most, and I mentioned it a bit earlier as well, is Gwalia's ability just to score across the park. They had a very strong maul against Edinburgh, and Edinburgh have a good pack as well, so that strength of the maul definitely can't be underestimated. I think it was Shan Jones, the number 9 for Gwalia, who scored that try off the maul. So I think we'll definitely see them looking to take those opportunities today, looking to kick to touch and set up a nice platform. I think their handling has been exceptional as well, and even watching the Gwalia team warming up today, the skills that they have just allow them to manipulate the defence and get into those wide channels. And again, with a dry day, albeit cold today, I'd be looking to see them having a high standard of execution, just to give them a platform again for their wingers or their wider backs to score some tries.
And Gwalia's only defeat, like we said, came in round 3. It was against the Clovers in Belfast, but they've improved a lot since that game.
Absolutely, and I think it's notable that both these teams, their only defeat of the campaign this year has been against the Clovers. So they're both very high standard of teams. They both will have learned a lot of lessons from those games, and both coaches even mentioned it, that their focus for today's game is just on themselves. So I think it's going to be a very interesting game to see. I think both teams have quite different tactics. I think the Wolfhounds score a lot of their tries from set piece. Even if you look at last week's game, scoring 10 tries, but 6 of them actually coming from either the scrum or the line out, versus a Gwalia team who perhaps score most of their tries from gameplay. So definitely they're going to be attacking in different areas, and it'll be interesting to see how they've reacted and done their work to try combat each other's strengths.
And Gwalia Lightning make their entrance, being applauded by their substitutes. Captained by Bronnie King today, the number 6. And we're just waiting on the Wolfhounds to make their appearance. And here are the Wolfhounds. Also led out by their number 6, Claire Bowes. Paddy Sheehan is the man in the middle today.
Was up for all good to go on that side.
And Dana O'Brien will get us underway. Strap yourselves in, it could be a cracker here.
Okay, go left or right? So I need the ball on or behind the line. Let's keep them behind the ball.
The Wolfhounds on our left, Gwalia Lightning to the right. O'Brien just waiting for the final orders.
Are you ready? Happy?
And we're off. But that's an early error from Gwalia Lightning, and a chance for the Wolfhounds to build something from the scrum. Not the ideal start for Gwalia, Emer.
No, and I know it's Jenny Heskett's first start this weekend. She came off the bench last week against Edinburgh, so she'll be a bit disappointed with that. But look, both teams will just be looking to settle into this. The Wolfhounds will be very happy. They've gained 20 metres there, and they're getting a nice set piece like they like. So be interesting to see. They'll probably do a training pitch move off this.
Bind! Set!
Katie Whelan with the feed. They keep it at the back. Here's Hogan, her first charge of the day. She tries to find Whelan, but that pass doesn't go to hand. And both teams make early errors.
Yeah, again, they'll definitely just want to settle down. there'll be a degree of nervousness and energy. Both teams are highly aware that this is a top of the table clash as well, so we'll wait and see them settling into the game.
Jones with the put in.
Crouch! Point! Set!
But that's a really good push from the Wolfhounds, putting them under all kinds of pressure. Carrie Hughes gets it away, but Vicky Elmskindon can't take it cleanly. But the counter ruck is strong, but somehow the Wolfhounds get it away. Here's O'Dowd, her first touch of the ball. Dalton, O'Brien, here's Larn. But we're coming back for the forward pass, and it'll be a scrum to Gwalia. So early nerves maybe?
Yeah, definitely early nerves, but I think the Gwalia intent has been huge. We see perhaps the kick was intended to get off pitch, but it remained on pitch. But just the fight and the kick chase from the Gwalia side and the counter ruck just put huge pressure on Katie Whelan.
But that's what we want to see. We want to see real contest. Two teams going hammer and tongs at each other.
Yeah, and I imagine they want to be the first team to put some points on the board just to settle it down.
To the centre. She brings in Webster. And Gwalia just looking to put the phases together. Here's Davies. And Davies is so good. The 19-year-old always makes ground. She had to take that one low. Did Stewart. Here's Pers. Really good ball retention from Gwalia early on here. Hopkins with the carry. Hughes looks to poke one behind, but Wolfhounds get the block on. But Gwalia still have Jones. Looks for a bit of room, but Ella Roberts has the space covered. But she can't find the pass, and Gwalia will be happy with that.
They will, and I think throughout those phases of play we've just seen the dominance in the collision area that Kat, the head coach, was speaking about with us earlier on. I think, notably in the last round the Wolfhounds had about a 22% missed tackle rate, and we just see with Gwalia targeting a more dominant collision area, they're getting those soft shoulders, or they are winning that contact zone. So I'd really like to see the Wolfhounds kind of just stepping up defensively to shut them down.
And their first visit into the 22 for Gwalia. But as I say that, they knocked the ball on, and it's a chance for the Wolfhounds to find a reprieve. Chance for the Wolfhounds just maybe to get an exit, Emer.
Yeah, I think there was great pressure there. Niamh O'Dowd and Brittany Hogan were kind of just in the peripheral vision there. But we'd imagine we'd be looking to find a bit of touch here. We see Dana lining up on the left-hand side.
Whelan with the put in. She'll let Hogan do the business. She takes it from the back, but she's dealt with really well. Pressure on her by Stewart.
Pass back in.
O'Brien to a reliable boot. And a first chance for the fullback to have a go. Hoskett. Gwalia settling into this game. Here's Caris Hughes. Hopkins always looking for work. Stewart, like you said, Emer, they're very comfortable just taking it up through the forwards early on here.
They are, yeah, and I think that just is a testament to the tries that they've scored in phase play. They don't seem to want to set up launch plays. They're just happy to run support lines, hit it up straight, be dominant in those collision areas, and then find a gap.
A different type of test for the Wolfhounds here today. Eve Higgins did well to rip that one, but Gwalia still have. Here's Hughes, takes it in herself. to Napoli. Purse makes some serious ground, but our captain King just couldn't take the pass. But that just shows exactly what Gwalia can do.
Yeah, exactly, and they're dangerous in gameplay. I don't know how many phases there were there, but they were just comfortable to play through, and that's the danger they pose to the Wolfhounds. Defensively, I think the Wolfhounds have relied a lot on their attack, so whether this game will be a step up in their defensive efforts and just their need to have seriously good, effective communication, filling the pitch, making their first up tackles just to stop this Lightning team.
But from covering that game against the Clovers in round 3, I noticed myself that Gwalia didn't always back themselves in those collisions, but there does seem to be that confidence here today.
I think so. From that loss, they've had 3 comprehensive wins. It was tight enough in round 5 versus Edinburgh, 29-27, but that would have given them equally confidence off the back of that. They then had a comprehensive win in the last round against Edinburgh, 26-5. So they do seem to have grown in confidence. That will give them a boost collectively as a team, and I think it's showing in the way that they're playing their running support lines. They're happy to give those offloads. May not have paid off there now, but who's to say that if they do go to hand, that can be dangerous.
Interesting to see Karis Hughes nursing a bit of a knock there. Will she be able to continue? She's going to try anyway. But she looks all right for the moment, struggling a little bit.
Cross!
The Wolfhounds haven't had much ball in hand in this game. O'Brien puts more pressure on Haskett, and she spills that one. That's a frustrating one for her.
Yeah, it is, and the unfortunate side of that is as soon as Dan O'Brien sees that, it just encourages her more to kick down that channel. The Wolfhounds are just looking to play in the right areas. They didn't want to keep the ball in and around their 22, so it's a good outcome for them, but unfortunate, for Jenny Hesketh.
And it's an opportunity for the Wolfhounds in opposition territory, and a chance to see that back line in action perhaps.
Definitely, Vicky Elms-Kingling out here on the right wing, she has a lot of space, the guts of about 20-30 metres, so it'll be nice to see if they can get the ball in hand to her.
Here's Higgins out the back to O'Brien. Lauren off her wing, Roberts to her Wicklow teammate Elms-Kingling. And Elms-Kingling doesn't want to go to ground. Just inside the 22 now, the Wolfhounds. Erin King on the boost. O'Brien. Patience could be the key for the Wolfhounds. O'Brien again. But Aoife Dalton, slippery fingers. And it's another scrum, this time for Gwalia Lightning.
Yeah, I think the Wolfhounds, this is a step up test-wise, and I think they'll just have to be patient in their attack. It's not going to be a case that they're going to score kind of first phase, so they're just going to have to settle it down and be happy to play through the phases.
But these are the type of games that they can take more from. Instead of putting 40, 50 points on a team, these are the real tests that you can really look at, you can really analyse, you can see what worked well, you can see what they struggle with.
Definitely, and the games where they need to come together and really...
And look at that scrum from the Wolfhounds.
What a response.
Flexing their muscles and winning the penalty. And it might be a chance for O'Brien to poke this one into the corner. And first line out in dangerous territory for the Wolfhounds. And the take is good from King. The maul machine is purring. There's bodies underneath it, and they've done really well there, Gwalia Lightning. It looked like we were going to have our first score of the game, but they got plenty of numbers underneath it, and they've denied Wolfhounds the chance of scoring.
Yeah, great defensive effort there. They've shown Gwalia that they can do that. There was a couple of held up tries in the last round against Edinburgh, so Wolfhounds will have to be aware of that, and perhaps from the maul they'll just have to keep that drive going a little bit more, just so that they can cleanly get that ball down. They really are going to have to maximise all the efforts and opportunities that they get.
But Wolfhounds back on the attack now. Higgins, a nice little switch to King. Hogan had to take that one of their bootlaces. And another knock on. Handling errors on both sides will be frustrating for both coaches.
Yeah, it was a bit frantic there from the Wolfhounds. After showing their dominance in the scrum, getting held up, I think they're feeling a bit nervy about having to get something on the board from being in this zone of the pitch. So look, we'll see what happens in this scrum. Will they push it over again, or will Gwalia be able to hold up?
Gwalia will want a cleaner set at this scrum.
I need you to control your bind as well, okay? Slow down, listen to my call.
Macy Davis wasn't happy with something there. I always love it when I have a forward on co-coms with me, because I know nothing about scrum.
Well, now my head does be shoved in gaps a lot of the time as well, so
that's a lot more steady, solid as a rock. And they get it off the pitch. A bit of relief. But the Wolfhounds still exactly where they'd want to be.
That's yours.
Another good take at the line out.
strong maul by the Wolfhounds here.
The maul trying to get motoring. Gwalia doing their best to defend it though. Looks like it was the captain King who got herself in amongst it there and won her team the scrum.
Yeah, and I think Gwennon Hopkins was there in the back as well, Katie Whelan trying to grab her out, but huge credit to Gwalia. Maybe unexpected that Wolfhounds would maul at that part of the pitch, but well defended.
And again, fronting up physically.
Definitely, and we said it earlier in our interviews, the Wolfhounds, their launch plays is what sets them up for a lot of their tries, and Gwalia have probably done their homework on that and are clearly attacking line-outs and scrums.
Set.
Jones puts it in.
Okay, let's pass back in.
Hughes
13, stay.
spots a bit of room.
Come back, let's come back.
But Lauren has an opportunity here to run it back. She goes into traffic.
Turnover's good. Move, no, move.
Whelan's looking for the ball. It's a bit messy at the moment. And Gwalia had hands on.
Yeah, I think it was Gwennon Hopkins there. She saw that the double hit was already in place. She just waited her time and got her hands over. Great turnover, and something that the Wolfhounds are going to have to be aware of, their breakdown.
Amy Lauren maybe got a little bit isolated there. Didn't have the support. And Gwalia were ready for her to rob possession. Davis just giving her last words to the hooker Wakely, but we're going to have another go at this.
On the mark. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But that wasn't straight.
Option, line over the scrum. Line over the scrum. Scrum.
And the Wolfhounds will have to put in at the scrum.
Yeah.
Just short of halfway. It's a cagey one, this, isn't it, Emer?
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of just trying to suss each other out and put the pressure on. I think Gwalia have recognised that if they can cut the Wolfhounds down at source, be that the scrum or line out, that will affect their try scoring game. Interesting there, I don't think I've seen the Wolfhounds attack a defensive line out as well as they did there, getting the fruits of it with a not straight throw in. So I'd say that's an area that they've identified as well.
Whelan.
Crouch! Bind!
From the sunny southeast, Katie Whelan. In Wexford. And they get the penalty again at the scrum. Their second of the day, the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, I think it was Maisie Davis just went straight down on her elbow.
That's why it's great to have you and comms. I had no clue there.
I think. I'll watch the replay.
And O'Brien just does her job, puts it into the corner, just short of the 22. Another good take at the line out. Hogan to Whelan. The back line try and get moving now. Ella Roberts. But they're doing a really good job at the minute, Gwalia, to slow down the ball, but illegally so, and Whelan's not waiting around. She brings Hogan into it. Here's Higgins, tips it on to Aoife Dalton. Whelan goes down that short side. Vicky Elms-Kinlan is there.
You can hear the comms there for Gwalia saying hold it up, so they know what they need to do.
A bit of a struggle to get to ground at the moment. And what an effort by Gwalia. Showing their power, showing their strength. And they're a totally different outfit from the outfit I saw against the Clovers in early January.
They are, and there's serious defensive efforts when it kind of comes into their 22 or even within their 5 metre line. We've already seen, we're 16 minutes in and we've seen them hold up a try over the line, holding up a maul there as well. So hugely impressive defensive efforts by them.
They might look for an exit here though. Get it in and get it out off the pitch. But again, the Wolfhounds come, but this time the penalty favours Gwalia.
I understand what the Wolfhounds are trying to do. They're under pressure to win that ball back, and they do have a dominant scrum, but they need to make sure that they are driving straight collectively as a pack, so they don't give away a penalty like that.
Maybe just a bit of greedy to score that try maybe there, and trying to push the situation.
Well, look, they're in an almost identical scrum scenario to the previous one that they did push over, so you can forgive them.
Wakely finds her captain, and now they get moving. The hooker has it at the back. She takes it off. Wolfhounds try and get hands on, and they do. Some really good work there from Fiona Chute. It's her first start today in the competition, I think, Fiona Chute, potentially.
It is, yeah. She came off the bench last weekend. I think she was possibly nursing a bit of a niggle maybe, but it's great to see her back. Hugely important role she played in the Celtic Challenge in the first year when the Wolfhounds won, so good to see her back starting.
Fiona Chute has had quite the journey in rugby. Started out as a winger fullback and was a top try scorer in the AIL for a long time for Old Belvedere, her club, but now she's getting her Irish honours as a forward.
Yeah, I think Fiona actually was originally an athletics background. I think it was possibly the shot put she was doing, and I was in the athletics world back then as well, so the two of us are meeting again in the rugby world.
It's a tackle, let it go, good.
And Gwalia get it to ground. Napoli lining up. Maybe just creating a path for an exit here. Davis and Jones takes it on herself. Roberts trying to stretch the legs, but she's swallowed up.
Pause it, it's good.
And the competition at that breakdown at the minute is fierce.
It is, and we can just see the dominant collisions that we've talked about before with Gwalia. Every metre that they make in the positive collisions is just getting them further up the pitch, so they'll be hugely happy with that.
Well covered by Caris Hughes there. But O'Brien engages in the kick tennis with her opposite number. That one has a tricky bounce.
Huge pressure here by Niamh O'Dowd. Great kick
Haskett's
chase.
under pressure. O'Dowd after her. And Erin King. She's not a player you want hunting you down. And she saw the ball, she got her paws all over it, and she wins a huge penalty for the Wolfhounds.
Exactly, and I think it just goes to show the importance of your work rate off the ball, and that's a prime example of the efforts of Niamh O'Dowd, Erin King and the whole Wolfhounds kick chase. It puts that pressure on, and now they're getting the benefits of the turnover.
This is a huge line out coming up. Can they break the deadlock? Kennigan, first job, has to get her dart right, and she can't do that, and it's relief for Gwalia for the moment anyway. They're running it out though through King, but that bobbles its way into touch, and Wolfhounds will have a second stab at it.
Okay.
They will, but I think it's important that they recognise they have to take their opportunities when they get them. We've already recognised the step up in this game and the intensity, and there's no guarantee that they'll get second opportunities every time.
Gwalia Lightning are actually getting the feed at the line out. It hit off the ankles, I think, potentially. And King,
Don't shout at me. Okay, guys, you've the option line out of scrum.
passion on both sides.
Sorry, you've the option.
Referee Sheehan just telling Chu to relax a little bit.
Yeah, I think there was words exchanged there. I didn't exactly hear what it was.
And they'll have the scrum right on the doorstep of the Gwalia try line.
Yep.
Could this be Brittany Hogan off the back?
You can see Brittany and Dana and Eve all having a bit of a conversation, so we'll see. There is kind of
Is there a trick up the sleeve?
Caitlin Lewis, I think, is by herself here on the right wing as we look at it, so be interesting to see. They might go down that side either.
Is there a trick up the sleeve here for the Wolfhounds?
Okay, let's use that. We're going around.
They're keeping it in for as long as they can. They're edging forward and they get the penalty. And they're just putting the squeeze on at the moment. But they're going quick. And Brittany Hogan not wasting any time. Just short of the line. Erin King has a go. But she's dealt with. And again, that Gwalia effort, it's amazing so far. For the second time today, they've held the Wolfhounds up, denying them of a try.
Yeah, it's huge. Fair play to them. Defending like that though is taxing as well, so it'd be interesting to see can they keep it up for the entirety of the game. But
tiring on the body, and when you hit that 60-minute mark, that's when those tired bodies sometimes let them in, and the space appears. And here's Larn. It's relentless though, the pressure at the moment from the Wolfhounds. Here's Chute, just tips it on nicely. And the Wolfhounds could get in here. Katie Whelan was alert to that. She saw the little half gap and she darts over for the score, but it was coming, wasn't it, Emer?
it was, the pressure that they were putting on Gwalia. Wolfhounds really needed to get on the board there. I thought it was great work by Fiona Chute and interplay with Christy, just with a nice tip on. But huge credit to Katie Whelan, she saw that gap. And the experience to just get the reach and get the control to get that try.
And Katie Whelan breaks the deadlock here in Virgin Media Park, but they had to work hard for that.
They did, and I think that'll be one thing that they won't be overly happy with, was just how long or how many attempts it took them in that zone to score. Of course, they'll be happy to get points on the board and hopefully they'll settle down a little bit now, but I think every entry into the scoring zone in this game is going to be important to get points on the board.
O'Brien will be confident from this range. She adds the extras, and 7-0 here with just 25 minutes gone on the court clock. And now it's a test for Gwalia. How can they respond?
Let's keep the ball behind the line and then behind the ball, okay?
Will they find her a post?
Yep. There you go ahead.
A real physical encounter though today so far. The restart going all over the place, but it bounces in the right direction for Gwalia. And here's Davis to her scrum half Jones. She managed to get it away. Here's Owen. Gwalia looking for a response through the legs. Lovely, confident rugby. Davis, one of the main ball carriers in this team. Here's Pers. They have to bring in 2 tacklers to deal with her. Hopkins, O'Dowd latching on here, but didn't roll away. And now this time it's Gwalia who are on the move quickly. Just inside the 22 now. Here's Pers again. Hughes brings in Terry.
Oh, let it go, leave! She's got to be out.
They go left this time. Davis again. They're lining up. Front up work by the forwards. And they get the penalty straight in front of the stick. So interesting decision coming up here.
I'd like to see that replay again. I think Shan Jones had the ball up in her hands for a bit of a time there. And now we all know Niamh O'Dowd is quick, so I don't know whether she's been a bit hard done by there.
They're going for the posts. A hard one to turn down, isn't it, Emer, when it's straight in front?
I'm just going to have a look at the replay. Like, yeah, you can see that Shan Jones has it up in her hand for a good length of time. But look, I think Gwalia just want to get 3 points on the board, kind of narrow this margin, settle themselves as well.
And Caris Hughes opens their account. 7-3 the score. 28 minutes gone on the clock. But that's a good reply from Gwalia.
It is, and I think it's a reflection of their dominance in the collision zone. They're just gaining extra meters with every collision. They're happy to go through the phases, and it just allows them to gradually creep into the Wolfhound half. The Wolfhounds need to be careful with their discipline, because you know, if every penalty is in a kickable zone, it just allows Gwalia to stay in this game, to narrow a margin, and possibly even go ahead if it comes to it.
Who's going to claim that ball? It's in Gwalia hands, and Jones spots that there's nobody in the backfield, and that's a really good touch finder from the alert scrum half.
Yeah, really clever from Shan Jones there, and I think it just shows her experience. You know, she knows that there's no one back there. Ella Roberts was just back by herself, and yeah, great touch finder.
Putting the pressure straight back on the Wolfhounds. Shoot goes up, but again the line-out's messy, but this time it lands in the hands of their tight head. Shoot, but they're not making much ground at the moment, the Wolfhounds. Davis up in their face very quickly, and they get the penalty, Gwalia Lightning, and that aggression in their line speed really paying dividends at the moment.
Absolutely, and I think they're they're conscious of where they are on the pitch. If they get that ball back, they're the dominant team and in the dominant field position. So Wolfhounds will just need to kind of go back to basics, secure their own ball, get out of their own half.
Yep.
And Caris Hughes puts it on a plate for her forward pack. They'll go to the line out. King quick with that. They try and get them all moving, but Wakely might take it off the back, but it's still going. And Molly Wakely, like a battering ram. Here's Hopkins. And Gwalia are on the hunt. Here's Davis.
6 out now, 6 move.
Jones uses her forwards. Pers. Pers is close, but not quite there. Jones, Davis again. And they swing it to the fullback. And she scores, Jenny Haskett. But the forwards set the platform there, up front rugby, and then when the time was right, they swung it out wide, and Jenny Haskett gets Gwalia's first try of the game.
Yeah, and it shows the variability of the play that this Gwalia Lightning team have. We spoke about it in their win against Edinburgh. They just have the ability to execute those simple catch pass skills and get it out wide when the defence has compressed. That's exactly what they did there.
Macy Davis, she's only 19, but she's throwing herself about the place today.
Yeah, hugely impressive. I think every time she's ran into the collision zone, it's taken about 2 or 3 Wolfhounds players to take her down. And that does have an effect on the defence as well. It means you've less bodies on their feet, you've less players out wide, and it just makes it easier for Gwalia to attack.
A tough ask for the out half now. It goes to the left and wide. But Gwalia Lightning, 1 point advantage now, 8-7 in the lead.
Exactly, and as we spoke about earlier, I think defensively the Wolfhounds are going to have to be careful with their discipline in their own half. They just can't afford to give this Gwalia team an easy opportunity to gain territory.
O'Brien gets us back underway here. The try scorer with a real pep in her step at the moment. And the confidence is growing within Gwalia.
Okay, let's use it now.
Jones been told to use it. She goes to the old reliable. Elmskindlen takes it, gives it to O'Brien. She sticks it high into the sky. And a knock on there by Terry.
You're not near them.
And Dan O'Brien, she puts up those high spiral kicks and it causes all sorts of problems.
Okay.
It does, and she's a huge variety of kicks as well. and I think that's the threat she poses. There was a number of Gwalia Lightning players back. You can see kind of 3 or 4 of them there in the replay, so they're anticipating that kick, but just the knock-on allows the Wolfhounds to gain that bit of territory.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
O'Brien to Higgins, and Higgins almost goes through the half gap. Dalton, O'Brien, all coming down this left side. Here's Hogan now on the charge. Here's O'Dowd, and O'Dowd still going. Chute is next in line. Hogan, hungry for a try, but you'll have to wait a little while longer. Here's the hooker, Clennigan. And Maeve Clennigan with the score. But Brittany Hogan ever involved in the build-up.
Yeah, Brittany and Niamh O'Dowd, even in the phase prior to that, absolutely great drives, great low body height, continuing the leg drive, driving through the contact zone as well, just setting that up for Maeve Clennigan to go over.
Niamh O'Dowd, like you said, brilliant. It was her break that really got the wheels in motion.
Absolutely, and then the Wolfhounds just playing on that momentum. We could even hear up here in the box the shouts from the Gwalia defence to fold around, so they were under pressure, and if the Wolfhounds can just keep playing with that momentum, playing on top of the defence, they will pressure this Gwalia side.
And they scored just underneath the post, which makes it an easier assignment for O'Brien. She obliges, and the Wolfhounds are back in the lead. But some tough questions being asked to this Wolfhounds team today. Probably questions they needed to answer.
There are, and you know, aside from the loss against the Clovers, I think this is probably the biggest test that they've had to date as well. Unfortunate there.
That one skims off the boot. And it'll be a scrum to the Wolfhounds. And an uncharacteristic error from the out half.
Yeah, I think even from her other kickoffs to date, she does try to go short so that Gwalia Lightning team can have a chance to compete and win it back.
Puts them on the front foot, I suppose.
It does, and look, the payoff is you can possibly win it back, but you're trying to kick short, and it just didn't work out for her there. Came off the side of the boot.
Scrum just on halfway.
Set!
Whelan to O'Brien. She looks for a touch. There's plenty on that, but Haskett just touches it down. I always wonder in those scrum situations, it's almost like Whelan's tapping Hogan on the back to say, are you taking this one or am I taking this one?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a pack that strong, you do have to, it's a fine line between giving it the moment to see if they have the momentum and if the scrum is moving forwards. But they'll be well used to playing with each other. That
one lands into the hands of Hogan. And now the Wolfhounds are on the front foot. Here's Elms Kinlan. But the pass was forward.
Hey, John, can you give me a ball there? No, you're fine, it was the right call.
That's the thing about those goal line dropouts. It does invite the attacking team to come straight back at you.
It does, yeah, but I don't think Jenny Hesketh really had much of a choice there. Amy Larn had really done a great kick chase on Dan O'Brien's kick, so just unfortunate, but there was no real option for Gwalia from that kick.
Crouch!
Just a couple of minutes left here in the first half. 14-8 the score. And again, the Wolfhounds have turned this against the head. What an effort from their forward pack. And Vicky Elms Kinlan steps back inside. And the Wolfhounds looking for a score just before the half-time break to extend their advantage. Hogan spinning around, looking for every metre. And here's Erin King. She's a machine. Whelan has an advantage in her back pocket. And they'll come back for that advantage.
4 not releasing.
Quick play maybe. We see that more and more nowadays.
We have, I think, Gwalia look pretty set up. Wolfhounds are back in their scrum.
Wolfhounds go back to the scrum platform.
I mean, they're fond of their scrum platform as a setup for their launch plays. It also has the benefit of, it sucks in 8 Gwalia defenders automatically.
Well, they have options left and right here.
You see Ella and Dana stacked behind the scrum as well.
Hogan takes it off the back. She gives it to Whelan. That might have been stolen, and it was. And I think it was from Webster, the centre.
It was, yeah, Kelsey Webster getting the credits there. I think Katie Whelan just got a bit isolated.
Not the right decision, maybe?
No, you can see there was a good bit of time or distance between herself and Clean and Ikunkover was the next Wolfhounds jersey near her.
Okay, 11 white, tackle in the air. Tackle in the air, 11 white.
There was a tackle in the air there by Amy Larn.
That's time now, yeah.
So Gwalia get the penalty, but they're just going to kick it off the pitch for the half-time whistle. 14-8 the score. And it's been a real contest here today. Katie Whelan opened the scoring when she got the try. Gwalia replied. And then Maeve Clennigan put Wolfhounds back into the lead with her try. So 14-8 is the score. And any final thoughts before we head into half-time?
Yeah, I think the Wolfhounds finished strong there, and hopefully they come out strong in the second half as well. I think they do get their confidence up when they get a few points on the board. I think unfortunately they haven't been very efficient at getting points on the board when they have been in that scoring zone, so it'll probably be an area they'll talk about at half-time. Gwalia can be hugely happy with their defensive efforts. As we said, it definitely is tiring, so they'll try to get a bit of energy replenishment on board at half-time as well, but I have a feeling both of these sides will come out all guns blazing for the second half.
Jenny Hatscott with the score for Gwalia Lightning, but we're going to come back to the highlights now. And like you said, the Gwalia defence, that was the first time they held it up over the line. The Maul was motoring, but Gwalia had the numbers on the ground.
Yeah, and it just keeps them in the game. It gives them confidence boost that they've prevented the scoreline getting higher than it was.
And then they did it on the second occasion here. They were knocking on the door. But the Gwalia effort has been massive today. And their work rate off the ball in particular. But then the Wolfhounds did break the deadlock. Katie Whelan with the score.
Yeah, very clever seeing that gap, being aware to it. And then with the control and that reach as well, which isn't easy.
You have to get two jobs right.
Well, your body momentum is driving you forwards, and there's a lot of other defensive arms just in the reach there as well, but she does exceptionally well.
But Gwalia did find their response, their fullback Jenny Haskett, but it all came from the work of her forwards that sucked in the numbers, and then they spread it out wide, and Haskett was ready and waiting to get the try for her team.
She was, and she had lovely dancing feet there. I think just kind of checked Vicky there on the wing a bit, got outside her shoulder and a nice little pirouette to get over the line.
But the Wolfhounds didn't have to wait long to regain their lead. Fiona Chute, Brittany Hogan, all involved. Nevo Dowd as well in the build-up. But on this occasion, it was Maeve Clennigan who got to score the hooker and put the Wolfhounds back into the lead. So it's been a good game so far. 14-8 the score. And here comes the highlights from yesterday's game between Britton Thunder against Edinburgh. We'll be back with you shortly.
Parker Scarlett's the venue for this round 7 clash. Britton Thunder versus Edinburgh Rugby. Kick-off in a matter of minutes.
Good work.
Side entry, the penalty. Round the corner, Hannah Walker, top try scorer in the competition with 8. There are numbers, that's the ball, right out wide. Oh, super tackle on Scott. But it's still Edinburgh possession. Still they come forward.
Still playing advantage 9, okay?
Trying to get it through the hands. McMahon with the carry. Again, numbers out wide. Swift hands needed. Good hands there by Marlowe. The ball does get now to Walker. And that's a well worked score by Edinburgh. Just 2.5 minutes on the clock, and they show their intent. Went through the phases, great continuity in their game. And Hannah Walker gets another. She's up to 9 tries in the competition. Composure needed. There's Robin Davis, about a metre out. Singleton, round the corner comes the captain, Natalia John. Half a metre short of the Edinburgh try line. Upright in the carry, Picton Powell, driven back.
It's a great collision. Good Edinburgh defence there.
It's Davis again. Quick ball, Singleton, has she spotted something? Does she get it down? Yes, she does. Siren Singleton, her first try of the competition. She's been a live wire for the Thunder. And she does get over, and we're all square at Parker Scarlett's. 5 points apiece.
Much better by Thunder, wasn't it? Remaining patient in this red zone. Good carries. Keeping possession, not forcing it. It's a good finish by Singleton in the end. Got a lot of work.
McRae getting it wide to Scott. Elects to kick. The advantage is over. Troman's back there. Doesn't collect it first time round. And she collects some Edinburgh tacklers. Off their feet a little bit.
Straight off their feet. Oh, that's harsh.
Well, they've turned it over. Maybe not affecting the clear out at all because there were no other Thunder players there. And it's Edinburgh now on the front foot. Some gaps out wide. If the ball gets there, will it get there? Oh, McMahon, Hannah McMahon. Under the sticks. The try is awarded. Took my time there, wasn't quite sure if the arm was in the air from Amber Stamp Dunstan. But Hannah McMahon coming round the corner and carrying exceptionally well. Singleton has to work a little bit harder to get that one. Webb, high into contact, driven back, but the ball is still there. Singleton fancies another try, but she's thwarted a metre out. Natalia John with the pick.
Lots of space on the right hand side here.
Well, take your pick. There is a try awarded for Britton Thunder. Who gets up last? That's usually the answer.
Was it Lucy Isaacs?
Well, I don't know who's getting the pats on the back. We might be lucky enough to catch it on the replay. The Thunder won't mind who has scored because it's all square again. Well, we wanted tries and we've got 4 of them. Who picks and goes? Sean, you tell me.
We're not sure. I can't quite see.
Advantage.
Is that advantage over? Advantage is deemed over. Hannah Marshall looks up. Who's she got on the outside? That's not a bad kick. Cross field. Picton Powell. Well, this is an important tackle because Scott is quick. She's in space on the far touchline. Little bit isolated on her own, but she beats the defender and finishes it herself. Super finish. Lucia Scott, usually a fullback, goes over for her second try of this Celtic challenge. You can see why she's a Scottish international. Took her time there, realised she was a little bit isolated, but then beat the last defender. Very evident at first receiver. Very well tipped passes on Marshall. Oh, great break, straight through the middle. Picton Powell, back yourself. Ball inside to Singleton. Oh, this would be a cracker for the Brython Thunder. 3rd try for the home team, and that was the pick of the bunch. Great break in midfield, and all good scrum halves back up on the inside. Singleton scores, and that was created by Picton Powell.
It was lovely play, wasn't it? Great change of pace by Picton Powell. Accelerated through the gap. You just missed it, but catches the ball, the power, the accelerations, but also her rugby awareness.
Decision to be made here. You can take it quickly, Singleton, and she does do that. Does she carry herself? Yes, she does. A few metres out, the Brython Thunder looking for a 4th, a bonus point try. Knees are on the deck there again. And about a metre short, but the arm is up. The try, touchdown style.
Jumped over the rock, Chloe Gant.
It is Chloe Gant. I wasn't sure who went over, but it is the Brython Thunder hooker that scores the 4th. Like I said, the bonus point try and puts the Thunder back ahead.
Well-deserved try by Thunder, going through the phases, but been applying pressure now for the last 10 minutes, and it's that girl again. Isaacs is in and amongst everything.
Corner.
Gets them.
The pod system works very well. Never carrying single numbers, always someone on the shoulder. And there's replacement Chloe Brown, I think, again. Switching play now. Out the back door, Denholm. Hands needed in midfield. Scott with the last pass. And grounded by Amy Conchi. Well worked Edinburgh score. And they retake the lead with their 4th bonus point try. Edinburgh will look to squeeze them in the scrum. No easy exits for the Thunder. They're going backwards at the moment. Singleton has to dig to get it out. Oh, the ball has been turned over against the head. And that's Gunderson crashing over for Edinburgh Rugby. Is that game set and match? Their 5th try of the afternoon. And they've just wrestled momentum back in this Celtic Challenge class. And they're further ahead at Parc y Scarlets.
It's a good scrum by Edinburgh. Dominant. Turned over the ball against the head. But for me, Lucy Isaac has been exceptional all round the park this afternoon. From contact area to carrying to being involved in the line out. She's been exceptional all afternoon.
Well, there we have it. Player of the match in this Celtic Challenge clash is Lucy Isaac, and under the sticks. Well. Goes Hannah Black, the replacement. Missed tackle in midfield. The try is vital, but the conversion is to go ahead. And the fact that the Thunder have scored under the sticks will be a massive bonus for Hannah Marshall.
Great finish, wasn't it? The impact player, Ashley Beck, spoke about it before the game. Great ball by Niamh Terry. Look at the line though from Hannah Black.
In the ball comes, Isaac digs it out. Singleton, Webb, try scorer, Black, still carrying. What a try this would be to finish our first victory of the season for Brython Thunder. What an impact by the replacement Hannah Black. That's what you get having international quality on the bench. She scores a try under the sticks, then caps it all off with a great solo finish. What a score! A 6th try for Brython Thunder.
Great solo finish, like you said, but learned their lessons. That's probably the most pleasing thing from that Thunder side. Isaacs, ball in channel 1, gets the ball out early to Singleton, to Webb, and then the powerful speedster Blucky with the fend, beating 2 defenders and in at the corner. But it just shows as well, Reece, how important. I know it's international players on the bench, but bench players are just as
Slightly
important.
more difficult kick for Ellie Tromans. Can't turn that one in. But the final whistle does go at Parca Scarlets. What a dramatic climax, and you can see what it means to the Brython Thunder collective that are here today, supporters, squad, staff members. That is their first victory of this Celtic challenge. They've had 2 tough trips in Ireland on the road, but to get a win at home, it feels good today. There's confirmation of the full time. Brython Thunder beating Edinburgh Rugby in a cracker in the Celtic challenge. It finishes 38-32 to the home team.
And we're back for the second half here in Virgin Media Park. Wolfhounds 14-8 in the lead against Gwalia Lightning. And it could be an interesting 40 coming up, Emer.
Yeah, definitely.